Hello everyone. Very happy to see all of you after a long time. And let us now go for the very important for the examination, CA Intermediate Auditing and Ethics, where majority of the students they feel auditing subject is theory paper, little bit voluminous paper, and the language of the auditing is little bit difficult to understand. So this is the mindset of the majority of the students. Now whereas we try our best level to simplify this auditing paper for the scoring of high marks in examination. Now majority of the cases, what will happen, my dear friends, the students are preparing well for their examinations and they are afraid of the concepts, they are afraid of how to write in examination, they are afraid of how to present in examinations. So in order to make it very simple, we taken this particular session for the benefit of the all the CA students, those who are going to appear in the forthcoming attempt. Now in this particular video we are going to talk about paper number 5, which belongs to the CA Intermediate Auditing paper. We talk only about the key points for examination. We don't discuss about it is not like a marathon, it is not like revision classes. It is only about how you can betterly present in examination, what are the key points for examination, how to remember for examination. This is what we are going to discuss about for the CA students. Now majority of the cases, what will happen, my dear friends, majority of the students are there afraid of the particular examination. Now we wanted to build the confidence to the students. Now what will happen in this particular case, how to score 60 plus marks is our motto. Now majority of the students, they in every attempt they feel insecure in the particular theory papers, but whereas the auditing paper is concerned, it is a very easiest paper to understand, provided you just little bit focus on these particular lectures. Now the coverage of the today class is about how to score the 60 plus marks in examination. So majority of the students are now preparing for exam, but everyone want exemption in papers. So how to score the 60 plus marks? Then in this particular video we are going to cover about the all chapters of ICA key points. Then we are going to talk about the exam point of view. Then we are going to discuss about how to read and understand for examination and various auditing terminologies. So most of the cases students understands that some of the key points, but they fail to present in examination. The reason being they may not clearly understand the concept. Now our intention is to make sure that the students are going to understand this concept very clearly. Now another important point to be noted here is, in this particular session we are going to talk about how to present in ICA exams and score the marks as well. Now dear friends, every one of you might be aware that there is going to be MCQ based questions, which is purely based on the case studies, then practical questions, as well as the theory based questions, which is about the 70 marks. So including choice, there may be around 120 marks for your examination, but our intention is to get out of the particular paper. How to get out of this particular paper, how to score 60 plus of the marks, how to just get 40 marks. So these points we are going to discuss, but provided, please remember, it is a conceptual knowledge. So it doesn't matter how many hours you prepare for examination, how many hours you have sit and study for examination. It's just a matter of 3 hours in auditing paper. In that 3 hours you have to make sure that whatever you are prepared for examination, you are going to present in the paper, you are going to showcase in the paper, you are going to, the way you are going to give the picture to the paper evaluator is the main important. Now regarding this, we start chapter by chapter. This entire lectures covers about the key points of all chapters. So we will discuss conceptually, we discuss in the way how you are going to understand the concepts. So we take it now we will go for the first chapter, so given in the ICA study material. Now let me open chapter number 1. Yeah, now we got it. Yeah, chapter number 1. So chapter number 1, nature, objective and the scope of the audit. Now as I told earlier, we are not going to revise, we are not going to do marathon, we are not going to do complete class here. our main focus is just before the examinations, how we can quickly remember the points, and when any question is given in examination, how to capture the particular point and how to link the given question for the understanding purpose. Now, as far as chapter number 1 is concerned, now let us understand about the definition of the auditing. An audit is a systematic and independent examination of the financial information of an entity. An entity, which means any type of entity, whether profit oriented or not. Now let me give the clarification for this particular point very clearly. Now the point says an audit is a systematic and independent examination. There is one word called "and," which means to say that whenever an audit is carried out by the auditor, the audit should be done systematically. So what is the meaning of systematically? Systematically means using the standards in auditing. What is the meaning of systematically? Systematically means using the guidance notes of ICA. What is the meaning of systematically? Using the statements of ICA. Statements given by the ICA. Now, when the auditor uses the standards in auditing, when auditor uses the guidance notes given by the institute, when the auditor uses the statements given by the institute, then we call it as a systematic. Then, independent examination of financial information. Now, this independent concept says without depending upon the management. Everyone aware about the basic concepts in auditing. Based on that, I am straight away going to the explanation point. So I should not depend upon the management. I should not depend upon any other person when I am doing my audit and when I am giving my opinion. Now they says independent examination. How should the auditor should examine? Independently. What is the meaning of independently? Without depending upon any person. What is the meaning of any person? It should not be management. I should not depend upon the employees. I should not depend upon third party. I should not depend upon appointing authorities. I should depend upon my own mindset. I should depend upon my own office. I can depend upon my staff. That's all. That's all. Now, coming into the financial information of an entity, that means financial statements alone I am going to do the audit. I am not going to do the audit of any other aspects. Now, whether profit oriented or not. Now, please point to be noted here for examination, whether an audit is carried out for the profit oriented entities, I should apply the standards auditing. Whether audit is to be carried out by the auditor for the non-profit motive organizations also, I should apply for the standards auditing. Now, what it means? The auditing definition says systematic and independent examination. So, when auditing definition says systematic and independent examination, it means whenever you do the audit for either profit motive organizations or non-profit motive organizations, you have to apply the standards auditing. So, examination question may be tested here. Standards auditing is not mandatory for the non-profit motive organizations. Answer is false. So, even for the non-profit organizations also standards auditing applicable. Now, irrespective of the size. So, what is the meaning of the size? It may be a small size companies. It may be a medium size companies. It may be a large companies also. So, irrespective of whether it is a small company or a medium company or a large company, what auditor has to do? Auditor has to apply the standards auditing. Systematically, auditor has to do. Irrespective of whether it is a small company or medium sized company or large company, auditor has to apply independence concept. So, you should not show any bias here. You should not show any partiality here. On legal form, when such examination is conducted, why you are doing an examination of the financial information? Now it is going to answer. Examination is conducted with a view to express an opinion. Now, the one-line summary of entire discussion. An auditor is an independent auditor. An auditor is going to do an audit using the standards auditing. The standards auditing applicable to all kinds of organizations, either profit motive or non-profit motive organizations. The main object of doing of the audit is to give an opinion on financial statements. That's all. That's what my job, being an auditor. Now, coming into the next area of point for examination, an audit. What is the meaning of audit? Systematic and independent examination of the financial information of an entity, whether profit oriented entities or non-profit oriented entities, irrespective of its size and legal form. So with an intention to carry out the audit to express an opinion on financial statements, an audit, once you complete the audit, what it means, an audit provides an assurance. What is the meaning of the assurance? Assurance means it talks about the confidence of the auditor. It talks about the satisfaction level of the auditor. Now, assurance, it provides the confidence to the users of financial statements. So in Indian country, whenever an audit is carried out by the independent person, it automatically gives the confidence. When I say confidence, an audit will not give what? An audit will not give the guarantee. Understood? So audit will never give the guarantee to the users, but audit will give what? Only confidence. So which means the inner meaning of this particular point is an auditor is given the opinion on the financial statements. Based on the auditor opinion, somebody should not go and invest in the companies. They have to diligently go through with the financial statements. Tomorrow when something goes bad in the company, they should not blame the auditor, because I never given any guarantee to the users of the financial statements. So users may be, the users of the financial statements may be internal users, and the users may be external users also. So external users may be again maybe bankers, maybe suppliers, maybe debtors, maybe different kinds of vendors, maybe government, different kinds of organizations. So the point to be noted here is an audit will never give the guarantee, audit will give only assurance. What is the meaning of assurance? Satisfaction level of the auditor. Now assurance is provided by way of written audit report. So whenever I am going to express the opinion should be given in the form of what? The opinion should be given in the form of report. In the form of report. How the report should be? Report should be always written in writing. There is one standard in auditing, standard number SA 700, forming an opinion on financial statements. So SA 700 is going to clearly say, so how to form an opinion, how to report on the financial statements, what is the kind of report, how to prepare the report, what is the contents of the report is given in SA 700. Now whenever I am giving the assurance, when I am giving the confidence to the users, the confidence should be given by way of report. By way of report means, or by way of opinion means, both are same. So entire auditing paper, opinion is equal to report is equal to opinion. Now coming into the another area of the key point for examination. So the basic purpose of audit of financial statement is to express what? An opinion. So that's what we told earlier also. The very basic purpose of expressing opinion is for what purpose? I am doing audit to give the opinion. I am doing audit to give the opinion. I am doing audit to give the opinion. So the main object of audit, or basic purpose of audit, why I am doing audit? In order to give the opinion on financial statements. So the basic purpose of audit is to give opinion. I am not doing audit to give guarantee to anyone. I am not doing audit to just to satisfy somebody. I am not doing audit to just to tell something about the company. I am doing an audit to express opinion on the financial statements. So what kind of opinions we should give? So we'll discuss that separately in SA 700 standard. Now the independent audit of financial statement provides, so very important for examination. Market is important for examination. So the independent audit, so hereafter audit means independent audit, auditor means independent auditor. So the independent audit of financial statement provides reasonable assurance. So very important for examination. So majority of times they may be testing for the examination. So let me give one more highlight for this, because it is very important for examination. So audit provides, what provides? Audit provides reasonable assurance. So when I am giving confidence to the users, it doesn't mean I have given 100% confidence. When I am giving confidence to the users, it doesn't mean I have given 100% assurance. So I given reasonable assurance. So whenever auditor given the opinion, So I have given the confidence to the users. So what kind of confidence I am giving? Reasonable confidence I am giving. It is to be distinguished. So whenever you say reasonable, how you should understand? I am giving minimum assurance. So how to distinguish this, how to differentiate this, how to understand this concept. So whenever in auditing paper you are reading for examination or you are writing for examination, you should understand two assurances majorly. So one is reasonable assurance, second one is absolute assurance. So reasonable absolute assurance means 100% assurance. What assurance? 100% assurance. Reasonable assurance means less than 100% assurance. There is a logic for this, my dear friends. Whenever auditor gives the opinion, auditor is not going to examine the all transactions in the financial statements due to lack of time. So that is the reason standard number 530 is given to the auditor. What is 530? Audit sampling. So whenever I am doing the sampling basis of audit, I am never going to cover 100% transactions because of the paucity, lack of time. Now in this particular case, whenever auditor is given the opinion, it means only I am giving reasonable assurance. What is the meaning of reasonable assurance? Auditor is not going to give the 100% assurance. What is 100% assurance? Absolute assurance. Why absolute assurance is not possible to the auditor? Because of the various limitations. So an auditor is not expected to perform duties which are falling outside the scope of his competence. What is the meaning of scope of audit? So scope means do's and don'ts. Do's and don'ts is called a scope. So what auditor should do, what auditor should not do during the course of the audit. So when audit is going on, so you should not expect beyond the financial statements of the companies as far as the audit is concerned. So because I am a statutory auditor appointed by the companies for 1 year period. So always audit will be carried out only for 1 year. Always audit will be carried out for how many years? 1 year. Sir, why only for 1 year, sir? Because I should give opinion only for 1 year. I cannot go beyond 1 year. So that is the reason. So audit will be carried out always for the 1 year period only. So you should not expect the auditor go beyond that. That's what the meaning of. He is not expected to perform. He should not expected to do duties which are falling outside the scope. That means you should not treat the auditor as a investigator. You should not treat the auditor as a investigator. So next, there are various inherent limitations as far as audit is concerned in process of audit due to the nature of financial reporting. So who is responsible to prepare the financial statements? Management is responsible to prepare the financial statements. TCWG, those charged with the governance, is responsible to prepare the financial statements. Now there are various inherent limitations. Inherent limitation means what? So these are some hurdles to the auditor. He could not complete the audit. So he could not give 100% assurance. So what is the reason for not giving 100% assurance? What is the reason for not giving absolute assurance? The reason for not giving absolute assurance is due to the following inherent limitations. So one inherent limitation is nature of financial reporting. So financial statements are prepared by the management. Management may prepare the financial statements based on the various estimations, various valuations, which may not be 100% reliable, actually 100% pakka. So hence it is a limitation. Nature of audit procedures. So as per SA 500 audit evidence standard, auditor is going to apply various methods of obtaining evidences. So he is going to apply various audit methods. So some of the methods may not be suitable during the course of the audit. So there are various procedures in the auditing paper. So analytical procedures, substantive procedures, like that. So it is always may not workable to the auditor. And audit not being in the nature of investigation. So that's what we told. Audit is not an investigation. Audit will be carried out only for 1 year. So auditor can give only reasonable assurance. Why reasonable assurance? 100% assurance not possible. Why 100% assurance not possible? Because of inherent limitations of audit. So how many inherent limitations of audit? 3 inherent limitations of audit. What is 3 inherent limitations of audit? One is nature of financial reporting, nature of audit procedures, then lack of time. time versus benefit or cost versus benefit, and it is due to the reasons audit does not provide absolute assurance. So auditor will never give the absolute assurance because he is not an investigator. Next, audit is a type of assurance engagement. So what is the meaning of assurance? I am going to give the confidence to the users. So it is a reasonable assurance engagement. So audit is never an absolute assurance engagement. It is all engagement means a type of activity. So audit is an activity. So hence it is an assurance engagement. So assurance engagement means an engagement, that means an activity in which a practitioner expresses, that means a chartered accountant who is holding certificate of practice is going to express a conclusion. What is the meaning of conclusion? Opinion. He is going to express the opinion. So which is designed to enhance the degree of confidence of the intended users other than responsible party about the outcome of the evaluations or measurements of the subject matter. What is the meaning of subject matter? Subject matter means here financial statements. So one line summary of entire discussion. An auditor, when he gives an audit report, that means when he gives the opinion is only to enhance the confidence of the users of financial statements. So whenever I given the opinion, which means my opinion I am giving only for the users. Intended users. That means whoever may be using my report, they can use my audit report. So I am going to give the report on what subject matter. What is the meaning of subject matter here? So simply to understand financial statements. Then assurance engagements consist of the 5 elements. Assurance engagement consists of how many elements? 5 elements, consisting of a 3-party relationship. What is the meaning of 3-party relationship? So 3-party relationship means there is going to be auditor, one party, management, another party, users, another party. It is called as 3-party relationship. Then subject matter, 4th one. Next, criteria, evidence and written report. So what are the 5 elements? So first element is 3-party relationship. Second element is about subject matter. Third element is about criteria. Fourth element is about evidence. Fifth element is about report. So very important for examination. Assurance engagement consists of 5 elements. Element number 1, 3-party relationship. Who are the 3 parties here? Auditor is one party, management is another party, then user is another party. Then what is second element? Subject matter. What is the meaning of subject matter? Financial statements. Then what is the criteria? So particular base. Then what is the evidence? So evidence means information. Then reporting. So these are the 5 elements of audit engagements. So market is important for MCQ based question. So examination they may test the case study type question, where in between of the case study they may insert these kind of words and they may ask for examination as well. Then we'll come for limited assurance. So we have seen absolute assurance so far. Absolute assurance means 100% assurance, where auditor will never give. Second one is reasonable assurance. Always auditor will give only reasonable assurance. Then they are trying to tell one more terminology for all of us, limited assurance. Limited means low level of assurance. Then reasonable assurance engagements. So limited assurance nothing but it is not for the audit purpose. So audit is a reasonable assurance engagements. Review is a limited engagement. So audit is different from the review. So now they are given differentiation. Audit, review. Review means it is only for review of financial statements for limited purpose. What purpose? Limited purpose. So audit means we have seen systematic and independent examination of financial information of an entity, irrespective of when entity is profit oriented or not, irrespective of whether the entity is different types of sizes, and in order to express the opinion on financial statements. Now 12th point very clearly says for examination, audit is different, review is different. Audit means systematic and independent examination which provides reasonable assurance. Review means limited review for the specific purpose which will give lower assurance. Then assurance engagements are following types. So assurance engagements may be reasonable assurance engagements which is for the audit, limited assurance engagements which is for the review, assurance engagements dealing with matters other than historical financial informations. Other than historical means what? It is about the prospective financial statements. Prospective financial statements. So auditor may give about the prospective information also, but it is not an audit report. It is not an audit report. Audit report will be given always on what? Historical financial statements only. Audit will be never given on prospective financial statements. This is what the examination question. So whenever auditor is doing the audit, so where accounting ends, auditing starts. What is the meaning of accounting ends? History already happened. Whatever already happened, for that only I can do the audit. So I cannot do the audit for the future. Then there is going to be engagement standards. So there are different types of assurance assignments for which they are given different types of engagement standards also. What engagement? Audit engagement standards and different types of other engagement standards. Now there is something called standards on auditing is given which is going to apply for the entire auditing paper. Then standards on review engagements for the review purpose. Standards on auditing for the audit purpose. Then standards on assurance engagements for the various assurances. Then standards on related party services, related services. Now these collectively called as engagement standards. Now these deal with the responsibility of the various auditors. So an entire auditing paper, as far as CA Intermediate is concerned, we are going to discuss about the standards on auditing, but as far as the final level is concerned, we are going to discuss about all these areas. Then very important point now comes to point number 15. Standards on quality controls. There is one standard in standards SQC1. So standards on quality controls are applicable always to CA firm, not for the individual auditor. Please understand, my dear friends, SQC1 talks about the CA firm qualities. CA firm qualities. There may be in Indian country, there may be different types of firms. So what are different types of firms? So firms might be, let me give the example. So different types of firms in India. So the firms may be individuals. What the meaning of individual I will explain. The firms might be proprietorship firms. The firms might be partnership firms. It is about CA firm. The firms might be limited liability partnership firms. So LLP is under the MCA control. Firms under the Indian Partnership Act 1932. Proprietorships. So what is difference between proprietorship and individual? Individual means they are going to practice on the own name. Proprietorship means they might be having and co or and associates like that. So here also one person only, here also one person only, but whereas in individual capacity they are going to do the practice in individual name. In case of proprietary firm, they may be having example A and co. Example, his name is A, he is taken COP on only A and is doing practice on the name of A, then he is called as individual practice. When Mr. A has taken the permission from the ICA to form the A and co or A and associates, then it is called as proprietary firm. Then partnership firms, 2 or more persons. Here also LLP, 2 or more persons. So partnership firms are controlled by the Partnership Act 1932. Limited liability partnership firms are controlled by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs as per the LLP Act 2008. Now coming into, we are discussing about SQC1. Now what I mean to say, the SQC1, whatever we are discussing, SQC1 applicable to firm. So what do you mean? It means when the firm, when I am talking about the firm, SQC1 is not applicable to the partners or persons. Why? The reason is we are given separate standard, standard number 220 for the auditors to maintain quality controls. So in order to firm to maintain quality controls, what kind of staff they have to recruit, So how to communicate with the clients, so how to manage the resources in the organizations, so how to maintain leadership quality controls, it will be covered in SQC 1. Whereas come to SA 220, how to do the audit, how to perform the audit, how to carry out the audit in time, efficient conduct of audit, this covers under SA 220. Now one line summary of entire discussion. SQC 1 is issued by the institute, which talks about whose responsibilities? Forum's responsibilities only to maintain what? Quality controls. So what the point to be noted here is, so SQC1 standard applicable to only CA firms. When I say CA firms, what it means? It is not applicable to the partners. Then to partners, that means to the chartered accountants who are the appointed as auditors. For them, standards and auditing applicable. So standards and auditing are applicable in order to carry out the audit. Why the standards have been introduced by the institute? The reason of introducing the standards, there are so many auditors in India. So many, there are around now close to 4 lakh chartered accountants, maybe around 40 to 45% of the chartered accountants in practice. Around 2 lakh chartered accountants, 1.8 to 2 lakh chartered accountants. If I don't keep the standards, every auditor may follow different types of standards. Hence, what the institute have taken a decision, the standards are being issued by the ICA in order to ensure quality where in reporting. Whenever you are doing the financial statements audit, whether you do for the small company or a newly qualified chartered accountant do, or a 10-year chartered accountant, experienced chartered accountant do, or a 20-year experienced chartered accountant do, our intention is to maintain quality. Second important point to be noted is we want to promote uniformity. So there should not be any ambiguity in the reporting format. There should not be any differences in the reporting formats where the users may misunderstand. Our intention is not the user should misunderstand. Our intention is you need to maintain uniformity so that whether XYZ Associates releases the report, everyone can understand. Or else very big firm, big four or small firm or large firm or different kinds of firms are in India. Whoever gives the report, there may be uniformity so the users can easily understand. Now, professional accountants with professional knowledge and skill and for ensuring audit quality. Now, in order to equip knowledge and skill for chartered accountants. So when I apply for the standard number 240, responsibility auditor for fraud reporting, the same standard I should follow. Whether some other chartered accountant follow standard number 240, the same standard auditor should follow, so that all auditors can follow uniformly in India. So this is about the summary of the chapter number 1. So thank you very much for your attentive listening. So again we will go for the chapter number 2. So our main intention is, we told, how to score 60 plus of the marks. So we are revising only key points for examination. You might be already read something for examination, you might be prepared for examination, but exams are very near. So our intention is to cover some of the key points for examination, so that some of the areas where you may not be covered clearly, so you may be covered here. Now for example, there is a limited assurance engagement, there may be audit versus review, there is something called independent and systematic, all these points. Again, you may be a revision. So thank you all for watching of this video. So again we will meet with second chapter. So we will revise everything. Thank you all. Have a good day.